Rob?
Because we're recording. Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rogues and welcome to a little news update. First and foremost, today is the last day to get into the subscription contest for my 2-year YouTube anniversary that is this month, and it's going to be Sunday, August 18th, and that is when I will announce who won. But the cool thing about this contest, I'm going to put a link down below here in case you missed it. I didn't know Rob was doing a contest. Watch that video and then follow the answers. I still had some people that guessed, Rob, you're going to have 410 subscribers, and then didn't say which of the two figures you like. So again, watch that video. You have to be a subscriber, have to, because I will check, and if you're not a subscriber, then you're out of the contest. And then to guess how many subscribers I will have by Sunday, August 18th, my 2-year YouTube anniversary, how many subscribers I'll have, and which of the two figures, the DC Collectibles, I'm losing my train of thought, DC Collectibles, New 52 Batman, or the DC Comics Unlimited Aquaman. I should just have read my little dry erase board here. So again, last day is today. After today, at midnight tonight, I will not be looking at that video. I thought about removing the video from the feed, and then I could have somebody say, well, I actually guessed 422, and you know, I think I was higher, so that way people can see. And the cool thing about the contest is that by the time I announce it on video, you're already probably going to know if you won or not by, you know, if you're up at I'm going to check at midnight on the 18th, and probably like 12:01 or something like that, to see how many subscribers I have. That will be the number that I talk about when I do the video later that afternoon, and I'll shoot a video and I'll try to have it up on the I will have it up on the 18th, and try to have something fun and cool to do for my 2-year YouTube anniversary. So that's the first little bit. Again, I just want to reiterate, thanks everybody. I think I'm up to 403, I think the last time I checked. I think it's a 403. And I'm kind of not looking all the time. It's cool that I got over the 400 barrier. So some people that guessed at 399, 398, 400, 401, unfortunately you lost. But some of the other people up there are still in the run, and I thought that was the kind of cool thing about this. You could put your guess, and then you could just kind of continue to watch. So again, to reiterate one last time, if you want to be part of the contest, click the link below to take you to my other video, or you can scroll back through to the sub-contest. But your challenge is to guess how many subscribers I will have on August 18th, Sunday, August 18th, my 2-year YouTube anniversary, how many subscribers I will have. And if you guess right, and that is the closest to without going over, you can guess right on the dot. Or if I have 405 and you guess 404, and nobody else has 404, you win. The person who has 406 does not get, because that's over. Get it? Then you could receive the DC Collectibles New 52 Batman, or the Mattel DC Comics Unlimited Aquaman. I think it's just better if I just read it so I don't get it wrong. So go watch that video. I probably explain it in a lot greater length and all that type of stuff. So I just want to let you know that today is the last day to get in for the contest, and the reason that is, I also say in the feed that I didn't want somebody sitting there waiting at 11:59 and guess, oh, he's got 410, I'm guessing 410. So, and I'm also going to say that if in the event of a duplicate, I'm going with the earliest timestamp on the original video feed. So don't tell me in this comment here that you were going to guess 407. It's got to go on the other feed. So you might want to look and see what everybody else is guessing, because if today you guess 404 and somebody 2 weeks ago has already guessed 404, I'm going with the earliest stamp, and that's I think the only fair thing to do. So, moving on to my second bit of news, and I guess the one big reason was to let people know it's the last day of the contest, and that we'll have kind of a dead week. But the other reason is the podcast that I just listened to from Action Figure Insider with, I forget the toy guru, I think, of Matty Collector, talking about the 2014 subscription line. And I'm putting that link down here. I suggest you go listen to it. It answered a lot of questions that I had of why is Mattel doing this and why aren't they doing that. I could spend a good long time just talking about what I heard, but I don't want to misquote something from that interview that he did. And it kind of makes sense that, for some people who don't know, there is the Mattel Corporation that's making Barbie and, you know, a lot of these other kid things. And then there's Matty Collector, a little smaller. You have Big Mattel and Little Matty Collector, who does, you know, the Ghostbusters and Masters of the Universe and DC. So, you know, Mattel has this huge, you know, multi-million-dollar Barbie franchise where they're just churning out all this Barbie stuff. Then you have a division of Mattel called Matty Collector that's doing the collector stuff that we pretty much are collecting. DC Universe Classics and Batman Unlimited, DC Comics Unlimited, and that type of stuff. The retail line is going away from Matty Collector. Now, people will say, well, they're coming out with this, you know, kid line. That is being done by Mattel as a corporation, not Matty Collector. Matty Collector had a retail line, and had a retail line for a very long time. We got a lot of cool figures out of it, Collect and Connects, and even Mattel was doing some figures that Matty Collector, where they were kind of working hand in hand. Young Justice was handled primarily by Mattel. So Matty Collector was trying to help finish off some of the things that Mattel was doing. So things kind of got a little cross-pollinated at times, and I'm making sure I'm reading some of this correctly. That the lines are kind of blurred between Mattel and Matty Collector, but Matty Collector just doesn't have the resources to try and continue to do a retail line in such a mass wave. And again, I'm going to butcher a lot of this, so please listen to the podcast. If you like the Mattel line of figures, this is our opportunity or your opportunity to really help this continue. And I'm somebody that's primarily a Robin, Batman universe type of fan, and yeah, I do buy some other things from time to time, but I'm looking at there's a subscription line for 2014 that's coming up that's going to be, their window of being able to get in is August 19th. I believe that's Monday at 11:59 p.m. before it goes into 20th. That they want to try to get to at least tier 1, and they're only at 26%, and they explain a lot of this. It looks like they're asking for a lot to get up to the tier. They're using the Doomsday body as a way to mark where the levels of subscription. And right now they're at his boots, being at 26%, and they want him up to the shoulders to be able to get tier 1. And they'll explain who's kind of in that and everything. Again, listen to the comment. I don't want to, or the podcast. I don't want to misquote anybody or anything, but it does make me think that we've had this big, long love-hate relationship. I shouldn't say hate. This big relationship with Mattel, and a lot of us, probably almost all of us, have started collecting toys and action figures by going into a store. So this is a different model to be able to get some of our rare DC heroes. Now, you're going to be able to go to a store and buy the Mattel 1966 Batman figures, because that's being handled by Mattel. And there's going to be kind of a kid line that's in 6-inch side. I believe the Batman Arkham Origins figures are going to come out of their own from Mattel, I think. It wasn't talked about in the podcast, but I think the Origins figures will come out in stores because the game is going to be out. So people that are playing the game can say, oh, I can get this figure, or parents can maybe get their kid the Batman action figure of the video game that they're playing, or however that is. I know it's kind of blurry lines between Mattel and Matty Collector, but it is what it is. This is, as I'm looking at the camera battery light, this could be a really short video. But the sub line, for me, there aren't enough figures that I, Rob, really want to get to spend the money to get those figures. Aquaman would be cool. Connor Kent would be cool. They're talking about possibly some civilians somewhere down the line in future subs. Maybe like a Commissioner Gordon or Lois Lane, a Jimmy Olsen, Alfred, not just, you know, Batman characters, but other Amanda Waller, you know, just different type of people that maybe a Bruce Wayne or a Lex Luthor suited, you know, a civilian type person that could be in the line. Maybe a small figure like a Batmite, a big figure like Doomsday. But at this point, I think Mattel maybe is doing my wallet a favor, that I may not be going out and buying a lot of these figures because I won't have the opportunity to. But I do look like, oh, Huntress would be kind of cool to get, but she's in the sub line. And I thought maybe somebody might be interested out there and saying, well, Rob, I'm kind of the same way. I don't really have the resources and the funds to be able to go into a full sub line for a whole year. Maybe somebody would like to partner together, get a couple people together and say, okay, the two or the three of us are going to do the sub together, and we'll split the figures out evenly among us, and going, okay, I like this figure, I like this figure, you know, who's your favorite character out of the universe, and we'll try and figure it up that way. So that's an idea. Maybe somebody says, well, Rob, I'm kind of the same way. I'll go in halves with you, or get a couple of us together to maybe we get one sub and we split it out. So they talk about Damien in the podcast, kind of what happened to him, and that they have to start working on this stuff very early, maybe 2 years ahead of time, to get ready for production on, you know, for a 14 release. And then once the market dries up and people aren't picking up the figures and people aren't flocking to the stores or having to change things, and they're like, well, we're not going to go into production on making these figures and say, okay, we're ready, let's get the sub going, but we need to get X amount of subs to offset what we spent on making figures, then that doesn't happen. It's like, well, we didn't get enough subs, and now we're sitting on all these figures. What are we going to do with them? So they're trying to get enough subs to warrant making the figures, because they have to do the prototypes and get the molds and things ready to be able to go into production, but they're not going to go into production if they don't have us out there going into it. So I'm trying to speed through some of this. I'm looking, I have 2 minutes left on the battery life of my camera. So I did want to, there was a couple things I wanted to go through, but I didn't get a chance to. Matty Collector, I think the last official figure is going to be the Beware the Batman figure. And some of my friends on Facebook and YouTube, I believe, have found him already, but he's in real low quantities, and I don't know if the Green Lantern Injustice figure has made it out yet, but I believe Beware the Batman is the last official Matty Collector retail item. Now, I don't know if that's going to include Arkham Origins, if Matty Collector is making that figure, or if that's going to be Mattel as a whole. I think it's Mattel as a whole. So, let me know what you think about this. Again, listen to their podcast. They answer a lot of questions, and if that is the end of the Matty Collector line, I've enjoyed it up to this point. I'm kind of steering my shopping cart down to the aisle of DC Collectibles. I'm picking up Captain Cold today. I will recharge his camera and I will be reviewing him, so you can look forward to that if you make it through this whole little video. As I'm getting the thing telling me my camera is going to shut off. So again, listen to that. Let me know what you think. If somebody's entertaining the idea of getting a subscription and says, Rob, I'll go in with you. Maybe it could be 2 of us, maybe it could be 3 of us, and we can kind of iron out some details, but we have until the 19th to get in. So the earlier we can get in, if they don't get enough, then Matty Collector, DC Heroes as we know it, and Villains could potentially end, other than a few sporadic little things, here or there. So I'm going to get out before this thing does. Want to get in for the sub contest. Today's the last day. Click on the couple links below to see all the information of things that I talked about. And I'm apologizing I have to hurry through this, but the camera is going to shut off. So stay tuned later on today for Captain Cold, DC Collectibles new 52 figure. Can't wait to go get it. Talk to you guys in a little bit. Thanks. Bye.